First of all, I would like to thank everybody who came here today. Thank you very much for joining. Today is a special podcast, or we like to call it The Talk. It's a little bit different this time because we have audience, we have live people to see. Usually the podcast is more in a closed room where just me and my guest is the people that we talk to. Okay, so thank you, Yasmine. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where do we start? We start on the incident which happened while I was working out. So I'll just give you a little bit of a story. I was working out by myself as usual, and suddenly at my last set, almost my last workout, somebody comes and taps my shoulder behind. It was Yasmine. She was telling me, can I try this weight? So the weight was my max, supposed to be max. And then she's like, I need to try it. And I stepped one step back and I gave her the chance to try, hoping she fails because this is so embarrassing for me as a man. But lucky enough for her, she managed to do a few reps.
Few?
Several reps.
It's like literally 8 to 12 reps.
Yes, and I only can see my ego leaving my body and trying to attack her. So I had to go full stack and do few reps as well. So she pushed me. The idea was like she pushed me. And for me, I left my comfort zone, which usually I try to push harder during the workout. But I noticed during that time that no, I did not push myself harder. And thanks to Yasmine, a female who pushed a man who's supposed to be stronger, but this is where we are heading, and this is the topic of today. So thank you, or I don't know what to say.
That I really made you better. I love how you called it the incident. It was like an incident on the gym floor, and you were really minding your own business, I have to say. You just said it very politely. I was just doing my own workout, and I definitely, I decided, I was like, I wonder if I was just curious. It had nothing to do with you being a man. I do the same thing with my friends at the gym. So it really, because I know you asked me, like, was it because it was me doing it? And I'm like, no, I just love to intrude in general from a curiosity standpoint, especially if I feel the person is going to be receptive of my intrusion or curiosity. And I know that they will push me. And it was all about curiosity. It was like, I wonder if I can do what Saif is doing. Because, you know, you're like muscular and you're always training and you're lifting. And it was, and I was like, and I did it and I was like, wow, this is easy. Like, I cannot believe it.
It was, I think, a single arm lat pull down from the
Yeah, it was a half kneeling. It was back day, yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't, and maybe like part of me was also confident in my own training, but it was for me, you know how we do like assessments and reassessments to clients? It was for me to assess myself in comparison to someone whom I believe is way stronger than me. I do this with Donna, I do this with Valentina, like all the people that I perceive as very strong, who are very well-trained individuals. I love kind of, it's not about comparison, but it's about me being better. And in general, I love working out with people that are better than me, where I feel the weakest. I love that. Like
men or women or in general?
In general. In general. You know, I love training. Like we train clients and we train people that we believe we're stronger than. I hope that I'm stronger than my clients in terms of strength and fitness. But I love training with people that push me, you know, with whether it's cardio or training or lifting. I believe that they're better than me in many, many aspects, and they will always push me to be better.
Let's stick in the strength training, and I'll tell you what I felt during that moment. I felt I was really pushed, that I had to go heavier.
Yeah.
If it was a man, I think I would not be caring. Like, I'll be like, yeah, okay, so whatever, fine, that's fine.
Okay.
But when it came to you as a female, it pushed me as a man.
Okay.
No, I cannot do that. I cannot allow myself.
Oh my God.
Yes. This is exactly what was going in my head.
Okay.
And I have to prove myself, first of all, and to you, that I am still the strongest here. I'm being so honest here.
Okay.
This is the exact feeling that I had, and maybe we can discuss this. But
definitely, we're gonna decondition your mind.
I hope
Do not think
you
this way.
No, I think
You want
men,
to stick to your...
I think men should think this way, and this is what we are going to
Really?
discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
So
think
what do
you should think this way?
Yeah. What do you think? It's very important to have a partner, first of all, in the workout. Now, I don't like to train with partners, but when this happened, I felt like, yes, this sometimes is important to push you beyond your comfort zone and beyond your potential. So for me, it might sound weird that I might be okay with having a female partner as strong as you, not just like a female partner who's doing her regular workout. No, it was more attractive to have a strong one beside me and push me to go heavier. So I think it's very important to have that.
It
So
is.
how is it for you as a woman to have a male partner?
On the gym floor?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very important. Like, I work out alone. I think you see that I always work out alone also. And it's just because a matter of time between clients. I work out whenever it's convenient for my life. But in general, I prefer having partners, honestly. They push me, they make me better. So that's why even that time, actually, right away, I never thought like male, female. It's so interesting how our brains are so different. And because I asked you, I think we had 2 conversations after that. So that's good. I think it's good to question our biases and to,
So how did you
decondition
feel?
I felt like that's amazing. Like, I felt that's what we're here for. This is a sport. We're all supposed to make ourselves better, and we're supposed to make each other better. And I don't think about male, female when it comes to the weight room, because I don't perceive weightlifting as something that is only for men. Men do have a natural advantage than women. They train harder. They tend to be more consistent with their workouts. Not everyone, I'm kind of generalizing here. But for me, this is a sport. The gym floor, for me personally, is something that I perceive as a sport. I'm not a professional, obviously, but I'm an amateur, let's say an amateur athlete, I enjoy weightlifting. But in the moment, I was like, Saif is gonna make me better. He's strong. I perceive him as strong, and I wonder if I can do what he's doing. So, but in that moment, I thought, that's amazing. I pushed you. And then automatically I thought about the value of having a partner when you work out. And also right away, I was like, oh, that's why coaching is so effective, because that's what coaches do. They don't just push you, but they also believe in you on the floor, like in real time, that you can do something, and they know you. They get to know you better than almost everyone. They know your movement. They know how they can press on you a little bit, push you a little bit in the right time,
I have a question.
Yes.
If I allowed you, I keep saying allowed you because this is my ego speaking here. If I would have stopped and not add the weight after you did your set,
Yeah.
how would that make you feel? Is there any difference between the 2 scenarios?
Nothing. I actually felt, I was like, oh, he was like really hurt. Like he really needed to prove to me that he can do a bit harder. And then when you did it, I was like, I'm gonna try the full stack.
Yeah.
I had like a very little sister energy, like I wanna try it too. I think I did like half one maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I felt comfortable at that moment.
We're all here to cater for you, Saif. No, honestly, I really felt like I've also earned this. Like I train hard and I am strong. So it's not. I don't think about it in terms of male-female dynamics. Not in the way most people would think. Because I asked a question on my Instagram before. This happened many times, by the way, at the gym, and from people that I actually don't know. Like they'll see me lifting something, like a bent over row, which I know is a very strong lift for me, and one time, a trainer shamed his client because I was lifting heavier than the client. And I saw that all happening. They didn't automatically talk to me. I just saw it was very obvious. And then the client looked at me. He doesn't know me. And he said, you're making me look really bad. And I was like, I almost started making excuses like, I've been training for a long time. And then I said, well, let's push harder. I said something like, you also have to deal with your own emotions on your own. Like, this is a sport. But I asked a question on Instagram, and I said, do you think women should lift more? It was a very simple question, and it was intended to be, like, really dumbing it down. It wasn't an intelligent question. But should women lift more, like, heavier? Is it okay for women to lift heavier than men at the gym? And people said no. Most people said no. Like, a woman should not lift heavier. And my thinking is, this is a sport. We all come to the gym, we put in effort, we progressively overload, we eat our protein, We put in the time and the effort. So it is only natural to be physically strong, fit than other people. Like,
Can I give you my answer?
please.
I agree with what they said, but there's a big but here.
Okay.
It's because men should be stronger.
Okay.
I am with women being strong. I encourage women to be strong. My wife, for instance, she is strong. I push her to be stronger.
She's a martial artist too,
Yeah,
right?
she just got her black belt in Taekwondo, and she's currently a coach as well. We went skiing, for example. I have never skied in my life. She's a professional snowboarder, and she was like dancing in front of me, and I was like just a little child admiring this. It shows strength. This
Yeah,
is strength.
of
No,
course.
it doesn't mean like physical, actual strength. So
Yeah.
this is, for me, it's very attractive, and this is something that I seek in a woman, and especially my woman. So I push her to be better, stronger in areas, even if she can do physical strength training, which I do want her to do as well. This is something for me is very important. But going back to your question, which you asked your followers, I think the answer was that to keep that gap in strength training, in weightlifting, for example, is because this is where men biologically have the advantage and privilege that they should unlock, which they're not unlocking in today's world.
But that's a separate conversation than what I asked. I really was, it wasn't
Yeah.
not, at the end of the day, honestly, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that everyone shows up and does whatever that is good for their body, what they believe is good for their body and their fitness level, and that they're staying healthy. It's just that I know that pure strength has always been something of a sport for men. But in terms of fitness and being in this industry, I do not want to be in a place or live in a time where women are excluded from sports. You watch the Olympics, you say women and men participate. They're separate. They're not compared to each other. So from the very beginning, I shouldn't compare myself to you, and you shouldn't compare yourself to me, because yes, we have very different physiologies. Our bodies are different. I understand. But some things I might be stronger than you at because maybe of the frequency of training or how I'm naturally inclined to have like very good pull strength or something like that. It was something very specific. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is the result was that I succeeded to push you a little bit harder, and I also pushed myself.
Yeah.
And that's a great outcome. Like, this is
That is
what
definitely.
I want people to see, whether they see coaches or training partners or just show up at the gym and do their best. It's about showing up and do your best every time you get the opportunity to, because it all has to do with your why. Like, why is it that this was so, and honestly, I love that we had a conversation after, because we kind of like reflected on it a bit, and I was like, and you were really like, it really like did something to you, and I was like, this is amazing, like seeing you like reflect on it and being very honest and vulnerable also, and I really respected that. But for me, I didn't even think about it, and I'll tell you what, I grew up with about 13 boys, and I was the only girl till I was 17 years old. That's a lot of boys. So there was natural competition. I had a brother. They kind of like chased me around, and there was a little bit of.
This was my next question. I think you gave me the answer already right now.
Yeah.
Is like, why did you go for strength training?
Oh, it wasn't because of the boys. I had to like stand up for myself, I guess.
Probably
no, but,
you had the right environment around you.
I think, no, so strength training really I started in terms of like fitness. In 2007, I started with yoga. I was really burnt out. I was a college student, and I had a baby at the same time. And I got a severe case of burnout. It was the first time I heard that word, and that was from a doctor, actually. He's like everything was going wrong, like physiologically and physically. And I had to just change a lot of things, like stop drinking coffee, and I was a mess. And I was only like 22 years old. So I started doing a lot of yoga, and I felt great. And then in 2011, I joined a CrossFit gym. I was living in the States at the time, and it changed my life. It was an incredible community. I lived at the time very close to like an army base, and all the people that worked out there were very, very intense individuals, but in the best way possible. They never, like the strongest men, they could be like Navy SEALs or like they're just family men at the end of the day, and they just join workouts when they are not on the base. And it was such an inclusive community. Everyone was lifting each other up. There was never like a question of men versus women versus any of this. Kids came, my kids came. It was we had like a garden in the backyard. We had to like participate in taking care of it. Cooking classes, it was a true community. And it was all based on lifting each other up and everyone just being their healthiest possible person. Whether that's a man or a woman or a mother, it doesn't matter. So this is when I started, that was 2011. And I got addicted to the feeling of being stronger. I didn't have a big experience in strength training prior to 2011. I hired a personal trainer when I was in college. And she found me online and we got in touch. And she was amazing. Like she taught me like foundational lifts, how to squat, how to deadlift, how to just take care of my health. But really, it was 2011 that I started taking. I was like, wow, I know how to do things. Like that's an amazing feeling. And of course, I went back because it was after having a second child, and I was like, okay, I want to lose the postpartum weight or whatnot. But it was way more about just feeling really strong. And it turns out I actually was naturally strong. I just never explored that when I was young. When you're young, like they categorize you into like you're the smart one, or you're good at school, and your brother is this has actually happened. This is actually my family. Your brother is the athletic one. This is a true story. I used to swim when I was a kid, but I was really good. Like my numbers just in lifting were amazing. I was so surprised. But CrossFit at the time was my gateway into strength training. I also had great coaches and people that really cared about everything when it comes to everyone's health in the gym. And then in 2017, I started studying to become a personal trainer and a yoga teacher, 2018. And I just loved strength. I couldn't stop. It's really hard. I think everyone knows that once you start training, it's really hard to stop. Really, it's
the feeling you won't get anywhere else.
It's the feeling. It's feeling like you're doing something for yourself. It's feeling like you're looking after your health, and you realize that you're much more useful to people around you when you're a strong person physically, and it feeds into other areas of your life. And you become like a good role model for your children, which is really my purpose of doing all of what I do. It's just for them to really be proud of me and to be a good role model.
Since you touched based on children, I know you have 2 boys.
Yeah.
What is Yasmine's role as a mother or a personal trainer as well, or as a strong woman in their lives, and how do you see them growing as young boys?
Well, they're not young anymore. One of them is already a man. So I think really just to do the best I can to help them take the best possible care of themselves, like get them interested and invested in their health, is I think one of the things I'm very proud of for doing. Like I'm really proud of establishing that into like the mindset and the routines of my boys. Something I really don't talk about. I don't talk about it on social media because I also want to give them some privacy. And it's not something I'm doing because to like tell people, look great, how great I am. But it's definitely my why, like to continue to educate them, to teach them how to cook, to teach them how to take care of themselves, to show them that it feels good to train, and that reward in itself. You're doing it for yourself. And I always tell them your health is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to provide an environment in which you're able to thrive, but the work has to be on you, And I think that my biggest accomplishment is putting a barbell in my son's hands at the age of 13. I think
Thank you.
Every mom needs to do that. No, I hired a coach for him. Like I trained the fundamentals like when he was very young, and then he said, I want a coach. And we found an amazing coach, and he taught him fundamentals of movement. I think every 13-year-old needs to learn how to lift, like how to squat, how to deadlift, how to bench press.
And do you know the importance of this is very crucial? Like, I am 100% sure, and I can guarantee that your boys are going to be great men in the future. It's because they have a mom like you who's strong. And this is like what I emphasize on saying and doing as well with my wife, is I push her to be strong because I'm not home. I'm most of the time outside, and I don't see my son who lives with me. I have 4 kids, 3 with my ex, but 2 boys and 1 girl. And the one who lives with me, he's only 4 years old. So his mom's responsibility, and my responsibility is my wife's strength, mental health, the whole thing, you know. So for me, like, she is the school of my son, but I don't do anything with my son. I just show up, hello dad, and everything, but the rest is hers. So she takes him to gymnastics. He's only 4 years old, and he's been already 1 year in gymnastics. He goes swimming, he goes playing around, so many activities he has, and soon also taekwondo starting. He has this whole environment, but it's all with the woman. It's all with the strong woman that is at home to create a boy, a strong boy. And then when he's at the age of being a teenage, this is where the father has to step in and take that child to become a man, to teach him principles in life, how to
I love how
behave.
you like divided the.
This is actually
The
how
role.
this is actually how I grew
I
in my
understand.
house. So I never was in contact with my father when I was below teenage. But when I started understanding and like, okay, there's this teenagehood around, my father stepped and took me by my hand and started talking to me as a friend to give me principles of life on how to have ethics, morals, how to treat other people, how to behave in society. But the rest was my mom's role. And I saw like my mom was taking everything from my father. So this is how the father is influencing the mother. So again, I just want to emphasize that the importance of having a strong woman in today's society is extremely important, because the men are weak, and it's due to the lack of strong women to raise strong men.
Men are going to be so mad at you right now, but that's.
I don't care, but this is
I don't
reality.
think men are
This
weak.
is
I feel like
reality.
that's a
They
big
are.
statement.
No, it is. It is.
Okay. I did not say that. That was
many,
safe words.
in so many ways, I don't say physical. In so many ways, men are very weak, and that's due to the lack of a strong woman.
Like a strong mother or
A woman.
okay.
Could be a mother, could be an ex-girlfriend, could be a current girlfriend, could be a wife, could be an ex-wife. Woman in general. I said this probably one time, that it takes a man to be a legend or a wise man. It takes him two women. One that brings him down to earth and destroys him, and the other one to pick him up and make him that, or believe in him to make him that legend. So the importance of a strong woman, again, in today's society is extremely important, and that's what this world is missing. So I encourage you and other women to be strong, for men to be stronger, because men are weak. They are afraid. They are not intimidating. So the incident, going back to the incident, why I felt this, that if you are a woman who is strong, I cannot stay where I am equal to you in strength, in physical strength. Don't get me wrong, okay?
How has your training improved since this incident?
I will come back to
Okay,
this
okay,
one
okay.
because I have so much to say about this, by
Oh,
the
really?
way.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, this pushed me physically to be like, this is the only area where I can prove to myself that I'm strong. Okay, there are other ways as well, but strength for men
Like
physically,
physical strength at the
physical
gym.
strength, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it should be my my specialty, or should be any man's specialty, to provide protection, confidence, belief. The strength in life is a mimic of what happens inside the gym. If I fail lifting heavy weight, I'm going to come back the next time stronger, lifting more heavier, and again I'm going to fail. So this is mimicking life outside, which means stress outside, which means handling women with her hormonal imbalances up and down with their emotions. So I can handle these changes over and over again. We don't tell our problems goodbye. We tell them, welcome, I'm stronger and I'm ready for you. That's how we behave as men and as women as well. But going back to the point again and the incident, we always refer to that. I never thought that I would be accepting myself to have a female coach, but after that incident, me personally, probably it's important to have, even although I am a coach myself, I don't need maybe, or what people might think that I don't need a coach.
Everyone needs a coach.
Everyone needs a coach, even including myself. And this is what I thought. I was like, if Yasmine, just by her presence there, pushed me, I think it's good to have a female coach, strong, to push the man who's training under her presence to push that man to be better. It's a way of pushing me. So this could be a case for me personally.
I'll see if I can fit you in.
Please send me your charges.
So I think that it's really good. I think that's what fitness does, is that you dismantle all of these conditioned ideas about the roles of men versus women. I think some of these ideas just need to go. They don't serve us anymore. They don't make us better, in my opinion. Everyone is different. Every household is different.
It's not that they need to go. They need to be rephrased in a proper way.
But some of them just could go, really. You know, like we can say like things need to go. They don't serve us anymore without being apologetic about it. But again, like I think that it's good to do a little bit of a, you know, like when you clean up your pantry and clean up your diet and clean up your routine, it's the same thing with our ideas and what we believe. And it's a big threat to our existence for me to like question everything I thought I knew about who I am, you know? But it doesn't have to be that big. It can just be, yeah, like she's stronger than me in that specific incident. And I wonder what I could do to change or to keep up or to learn even. And back to coaches. Coaches most definitely need coaches because coaches are the worst in taking care of themselves, actually. We have really good habits and really good ways of like doing things and being consistent. We have great habits. But everyone needs someone to look after their training, whether that's a strong friend at the gym or someone who just can see from the outside, like can call you out on your BS, you know, or on your nutrition or the way you're not doing cardio enough, like, you know, Donna always does to me, for instance, which I need, you know, like I need that. I need someone to call me out on my weaknesses with the intention, because it's always done in love, like it's always done in care. It's never done in like, I'm better than you. It's always done like, I want us to be better together. And that's the energy I seek with people I hang out with, the energy I seek with people I train, and the energy I seek with my friends also, you know, like I want us to get better together in whatever area of life that interests us. And fitness is just an area of life. I don't give it more power than it is, to be honest, because life is hard, you know? This is like a mental relief for me. It's not a way for me to be very like competitive. Sure, like a little competition won't hurt anyone.
It's a small laboratory for life.
So maybe it could be like that's a perspective. Like there's 100%. I'm proof that being fit and strong has made me a better person in my personal life. It has made me a more consistent person. It has made me a better mother. It has made me just pain-free. I mean, we can start talking about all the benefits of strength training and just having a training routine in general, for sure. Like, but sometimes I also don't, when I feel like in general when I'm assigning too much importance to any area of my life, I like to come and take away that importance from time to time with the intention of just not assigning it too much importance because sometimes then you become crippled. You become crippled by assigning that training is the most important thing. And then when training is taken away from you, if you have an injury or if you travel for a week, you fall apart as a human. And that's not the kind of human I want to be. I want to be resilient and robust no matter what. That's what training teaches me. But it's one of the elements that I like to use. It's a tool. It's one of the many tools I use in my life. But it's not the only tool. Because I got injured before and I was 4 months without a barbell. And I was like, I lost my mind. But then I found meditation and journaling. You know what I mean? Like, but that's good. We need all of these experiences. But every time I feel really like, and it's the same. I always ask myself, I'm like, oh, I feel so good after training and all these things. And then I learned just recently that people that consistently feel good, especially after cardio, are not great in terms of their breathing patterns. You know, they get a lot of anxiety. They don't know how to just breathe, inhale, exhale, like in a consistent manner. That's why they crave this like kind of forced energy, this like heavy breathing. It's like our need to hyperventilate in a very safe space. That's like a little bit of what some cardio is. So I'm learning, like you're learning all these things about how everything feeds into another. Like having good cardiovascular health is really, really good for, you know, reducing your anxiety and having better mental health. Like there's all this research on the benefits of exercise. So it's just a tool. I don't assign it that much
I just
importance.
remembered one thing also. the heaviest that I have ever lifted inside the gym was not because of a woman and because of you, because this is the heaviest that I've lifted in a workout with you and pushed by you. It's when I was the most stressed from outside.
Interesting.
How does stress affect your strength as a woman? Like, do you, when you're stressed and you come to the gym, do you push really hard or do you back up?
It depends. Like you want to be smart with your training. Like I feel like from, the age of 26, which is when I started being serious, to now, I'm not going to say it's been a while, to 39, my training is very, very different than like this year to hopefully going forward. Because I'm just a different person. Like I want to train right now to prevent injuries, to be able to hike, 20 kilometers or more and just live life. And it's not just only because of how I want to look. Like everything changes. That's what I mean. We're seasonal human beings. We go through phases. So sometimes when I'm really, really stressed, I PR as well at the gym. And sometimes it's actually really not smart to even come to the gym. It's not for me, prioritizing sleep and recovery and eating really well and being around people I love and laughing, and just doing fun things. That's the priority and not necessarily training. Because training is applied stress in a controlled environment. That's what training is. And it's good. It's good to stress your bones, to stress your joints. It's important. And you're training to foolproof your body for life, as you said before. I think that's what you were trying to say, is that training has allowed you to be better at life, better husband, better partner.
Sometimes when I'm doing deadlifts in particular, I don't feel like the strength is there. And I feel like I need to push, but there's something missing in me. So what I try to do, I sit down between me and myself, I stare at the bar with the weights on, and I start thinking about moments in life where I was the weakest or some pain. I try to recall pain from my past. And then the moment it comes to me, I'm in anger, I'm in frustration, I want to hide that fear again or that pain. I just go and do the lift. And this is my pre-workout. It really is.
You dig into pain.
I dig into the pain and I allow myself to, and I even I can say it very honestly. My other 3 kids, I haven't seen them for a while. And as a father speaking, it hurts a lot. So I have a lot of pictures with them when they were with me. So I avoid this moment. So what I do is I go look at the pictures and I recall these memories. And this is the most painful part for me. And I'm like, okay, throw the phone away and I go and smash it. And this is it's much better. It's so much better than C4 or any kind of pre-workout which is out there. It kills. It kills. You go, I go and I eat the weight, and after that I'm like a normal human being back again. I did my workout, everything is done. I over-controlled these emotions in a nice way.
But did you deal with the emotions?
That's
okay,
another,
we're not gonna have a session now. But I understand what you. It's a good Band-Aid. Sometimes fitness is honestly, and it's better than. I mean, now there is research to prove that exercising is better than taking antidepressants. When you are, and now they want doctors to prescribe exercise in
and
doses.
Especially
actually,
strength training. Especially strength training,
both.
not any kind of exercise. The beauty or the medication that comes from, or the meditation that comes from strength training is not compared to any other training.
For you, that's what I want to
No, even women, overcoming or making a PR, let's call it a PR, even for women, even with my clients, this is what I do them. When I see them really down and I see them there's something bothering, they don't want to talk about it. I'm like, whatever is pissing you off today, let's forget about it, let's work out. And as they work out, I make them do a PR without them knowing. And then once they did it, I tell them look at the weight.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're happy, suddenly they're overwhelmed with the joy and happiness, and they forget about the pain.
No, it's a great, again, it's a great tool. I will insist on saying that it's just one, because there are so many tools and so many doors to being healthy and being fit. yes, resistance training has to be part, in my opinion, has to be part of everyone's life because it will make your life better, especially as you age. And I'm really talking always to women over 35, you know, like we are getting weaker as we age, but we don't have to. We can at least reduce the rate of aging, the aging process. You know, it will happen. You know, it's not, we can't control time. It will happen, but we can take care of ourselves in the meantime by doing what science has told us and what our bodies, like the feedback our bodies has given us to like improve our life and the quality of our life, you know. But I think different strokes for different folks. And some people respond to strength training and some people respond really, really well to sports and being part of a team and doing and having a hobby and moving and dancing. Like, we can't limit, humans are meant to move in whatever it is, so many capacities. Like you watch Olympic, you know, weightlifters, and you watch Olympians in general, and you watch tennis players and everyone. Like, you can move however you see fit for your mental health and for your nervous system and for your time, and you can take walks. Like the least thing you can do in terms of movement is taking walks. Yes, I like strength training, and I talk about it a lot on social media, and I obviously, like, my older son specifically, like, also really loves strength training. My younger son is starting. We're starting with walks now. So, because it's all about like cementing habits in your nervous system from when you're really, really young. But I don't impose my way of living on other people. Like, I'm never here to tell anyone how to live their lives, but I would like to think of myself as someone who promotes health and wellness
Leads
and
by
movement.
example as well.
Yeah, what is it?
Leads by example.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
who leads by
I just,
example.
like, you know, they say like you do you. Like, I would like to think that way. You know, no one is perfect, and I don't aspire to be perfect because that gets to you as well. And it's a lot of pressure on coaches. I think coaches are always trying to be really perfect and really dial in on everything and take care of them. Like, sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes I just want to like chill with my friends and have shisha, you know, like, it's okay.
Which flavor?
You know, like I think that this is stuff that I now would love to talk more about.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a biohacker and I don't have to optimize on everything. Like, I'm also a mother and I want to have dinner with my children every night and I want to cook my own meals, but I also want to train. You know, I don't want to always be on a diet. Like, but everything is available. Like, as long as people are moving. And I think people that I get really attracted to in terms of training with, we all have similar philosophy. We just want people to move better, like efficiently, and also believe in themselves. So that after they're done with us, like being their personal trainers or their coaches, they go on and live their life and be the strongest. And this is how we make an impact, like, to make people strong, you know? Strong, more endurance, whatever it is that the clients want, you know? Like, you know, as a coach, you don't go and impose your own personal experience on people. Like, that's not good coaching. You hear what they want, and you hear the vision that they want for their life, and then you see them grow through that vision, and you help them. You're just a participant, like you're a co-creator, basically, of that vision. But it's not your vision, you know? You, of course, weigh in and give them your expertise.
But some need a vision to see. Some
your
don't
children
have.
do, but not your clients.
No, some are lost.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guide.
Yeah,
You guide. Of course,
yeah.
I mean, I think everyone should be lost at some point in their life. Like, that's a good thing. And this is when you see high quality coaches and friends and community. Like, we're all lost in a way. You know, we all go through seasons where we, you know, don't know anything about anything. And I think really from this idea, I love the idea of like learning new things constantly, like really sucking at things. Like, I'm not the best cardio person, so, but I try to be. Like,
Neither am I, by the way. You're not alone.
But I'm getting better. I'm really, really getting better. There's like two people that have killed me here before, but I love it. Like, I love it when I do it. I have to prioritize. For me, at this point, really, it's a matter of time. Like, I do a lot. You know, I'm a single mother. I work a lot. I keep important things. I think it was Kobe Bryant that says, like, keep important things important, or keep the important things important. And I do that very well. Like, you know, like family dinner.
You're
important.
doing great.
What is it?
You're doing great as an
Thank you.
individual, as a mother. Really,
you so much.
very happy to have a strong woman, strong mother
Thank
with this
you.
kind of mentality
Thank
in this
you.
world. Because your existence should affect other women as well to become stronger.
Wow, that's a big, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no, I'm
Appreciate it.
serious. This is really beautiful. One of the things that turns my head in the gym is when I see, for example, a woman squatting heavy weights.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching it. I mean, not in a weird way, not in a weird way.
He walked himself right into
please.
this.
You know, my wife will listen to this, so I'm absolutely fine with
No,
that.
I
And she
understand.
knows my.
Because
but
as a
it's-
coach, you understand what it took for that person to
Especially
reach that heavy weight,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because it's a
yeah.
lot of discipline.
Yeah.
It is a skill. By the way, like strength is a skill.
Yeah.
We forget. We think it is like a dumb heavy weight that we lift. It is a skill that you have to learn and refine and film yourself.
You know
and
what? If
get
a man
coached.
comes to me today and tells me like, how can I choose a woman? I will tell him, go to the gym, look at the woman who's squatting, choose that woman. Because it means a lot. It's not
That
just
important
strength.
for squatting
It does-
situations.
Yeah, yeah. No, see, what squat, if a woman squats, and especially heavy weights, for me, this is so much. I can list so many traits of this woman that she has. She has no fear. She's strong. She's disciplined. She managed to overcome the most difficult workout with technique to do, yet she does it with heavy weights and impressive way, and she does it all the time. And this can handle stress. This woman can handle stress, can handle pregnancy very well, can handle, she's healthy, she eats well, she takes care of her body, because the recovery of squat is needed, the strength before the squat is needed. There's so many things, so many beautiful things. So yeah, I would tell any guy who would come, go to the gym, go straight away to the squat rack. If there's a woman there squatting, that's your woman. So ladies, line up. Single ladies, line up in this.
Everyone. No, I think that the gym in general is a beautiful. It's a very artificial space, by the way. This is our playground. This is my take on gyms. Gyms are adult playgrounds because this is how almost one of the few places we have to get strong. You know, like children go to playgrounds, they hang from monkey bars, they play, and we as adults stop playing. Unless you are actually playing a sport or you have some sort of a weekly game with your friends, we stop playing and we stopped having fun. And the gym, when you get better at doing things at the gym, that becomes kind of like your playground. But you have to know what you're doing first.
Yeah,
and that's why gyms
absolutely.
can be also very frustrating places for people.
And could be very dangerous as
Very
well.
intimidating
Yeah.
and very dangerous. I mean, I think most accidents in the gym are from people mishandling weights. It's not the machines and it's not the exercise itself. It's people like dropping weights around without knowing where they are in space. So, but back to the gym, it's an artificial space where we get to, explore our physicality and our physical body and get strong and be a bit competitive and get better. But we also stopped going outside and we stopped being outside and we stopped playing. And so we turned to the gym, and then from the gym, there's this big culture that can be very intimidating for people, or someone's saving grace, like the place where they can literally go and just feel better. You can see people, I don't know, I love observing people. Like you can see people arriving at the gym, they're so excited, the way they walk in, they can't wait to get sweaty and messy, and they love it. And then the relief after the shower and the getting dressed, it's a whole thing. It's a ritual, and gyms are very powerful. And I love observing people, and even myself, I kind of do a check-in as I scan in the gate here at this gym. So I kind of do a check-in how I'm feeling, and I do it on the way out, just a quick mental take note, how am I feeling right now? And 99% of the time, I feel better walking out than coming in, just in general. Whether it is what I did in terms of lifting, the kind of workout I did, the people I interacted with, the sessions I had with my clients, it doesn't matter. It's a combination of things, how I explored my physical strength that day or my endurance, there's so many elements. And I would hate for places like gyms to become intimidating for men and women or become exclusive. I think fitness should be super inclusive. It's the only thing that we need more inclusivity, because more and more people are getting sick, and there's more obesity right now. 3/4 of Americans are obese. 3/4 of the American population. Like I think America spends like $3 trillion on healthcare, and most people are still sick. Like this is the reality, you know? So it's not about, you know, fitness is not about being exclusive, you know, it's not about having the right fitness brands or the right outfits. Like I would love to see that. Sure, this can happen, but I would love to also for people to show up in whatever attire they have and just train and sweat and like, you know, feel good.
And clean after that.
And like clean up after. And I'd love that.
Amazing. Thank you, Yasmine.
You're welcome.
I don't know if anyone wants to have anything to say. You're allowed to say anything, anytime.
You can ask any questions.
Yeah. Questions or like any ideas? You have a lot.
Yes.
Really? Go ahead.
Wow.
I mean, we should have a microphone here, but unfortunately, again. Yeah.
Valena? Valeria. Okay. Thank you, Valeria, for the question. I think that you go to the gym. How long have you been training? Yeah, so you've definitely earned it. I think the best thing, honestly, about gyms, and this is what we need to promote, is you do you. You go and lift the dumbbells, and he's supposed to level up, honestly, like, or maybe he has an injury. Like it doesn't. I think that's another thing that I wanted to talk about today is that we always assume that we judge people by how they look. We make a lot of assumptions. You know, we see coaches training, like a coach training a client, and we judge how they train that client because from our perspective, what they're doing is wrong. And I think that it's not on you to make others feel good in general. Like I feel like I don't give life advice, but I feel like I don't think that's not your work. Your work is to come and take care of your fitness in the hour that you have and lift heavy and follow your program and do your progressive overload, you know, and eat well and sleep well. Like I feel like that's your work. And if someone approaches you, like if he approaches you and he has a question for you because you're so strong, then you can share the knowledge that you have. But you've been training your whole life, so you've definitely earned lifting heavy dumbbells.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not your problem to fix other people's or downgrade yourself for other people's pleasure. Work on yourself and leave
But it's
them.
but having said that, it's
a
beautiful sentiment, though.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, but because I'm so desensitized, I'm in gyms all the time. Like I spend hundreds of hours per month in gyms, and I just don't. I honestly, like, people will think like I have a very, like, I don't smile when I'm training. I'm just like so focused. But because I really have so much to get accomplished in the day, and just like, I want to just do my workout. Like I'm here to train. I'm not here to appeal to anyone, or to, if someone approaches me and wants to like ask me a question, or I did, this is what happened, by the way. I went to Save. I did the same exact thing, by the way, with another trainer the other day, and he was carrying a very heavy weight, and I approached him and I said, can I try? And he said, you will do it. He's like, you're gonna do it better than me. That was his first thing, and I love that. And I did it. You know, and then I did it again with the same trainer. He had a client, and the client was like, all right, I'm leaving. You know, that was like the client's reaction. And I feel like, but that's the whole thing. Like, I think fitness is not serious. It's play. Like, it's physical exploration. Like, that's what it is. You know what? But that is not on you. Like, and then they have to like do the work and ask themselves why they're doing that. But it's amazing that you're lifting heavy, honestly. Like, exactly. I think it's a collaborative work, right? Like, it's not something that, it's a sport. I keep saying the same thing, and Donna said it so beautifully. Like, at some point, it pisses me off because I'm here doing the work. You know, I cook all my meals. Like, there's so much hidden work, by the way, and mindset work that people don't see. You know, I've been judged so many times for how I look by so many people. Like when I did a powerlifting competition for 12 weeks as an experiment. And as a result, I was judged also because I've put on a lot of muscle, my body changed. And I could care less. I'm like, whatever, like you have your own screwed up idea about what fitness and beauty and what women should be doing. And that's okay, that works for you. But I don't allow myself to get affected by how people perceive me, because I actually continue to like train with people like Donna and Leo and Nader and and Valentina. We've trained together. I think we've done the bent over row together, and I just like, I feel like deal with it. Like I put in the work, and you, just because you are a guy or you think you are strong, doesn't, you know, belittle me. Like don't belittle me, because I train every single day also, and I lift heavy. And you know, for me to be strong, I also have to sleep at 9 and 9:30 p.m. most days, like 80% of the year, because I think in terms of years and 6 months, not in terms of 12 weeks. I know it's very common in fitness to think about your body in 12-week shot, which is just the stupidest thing ever. But anyway, like, you know, like there's a lot of work that goes beyond the gym. Yeah.
You said something very nice, which is like they put their ego, they ego lift.
Yeah.
They have this ego lift, like,
Yeah.
no, I have to prove it. But this is not acceptable. This is not the right way. No, push yourself more. As you said, like many ways to prove that you're strong.
Exactly. And what are you doing to allow yourself, like that strength that you're learning at the gym? How is it helping you in the other areas of your life as well? Like, I think that's a big conversation too, you know? Like, I'm the same, like, I have to always redefine what strength is for me. Because sometimes also, like, a lot of strength also doesn't serve you, you know? It doesn't serve you. It's not what you want this month. You know, maybe this month you want to, you know, be more flexible in your thinking, in your schedule, in your scheduling, in dealing with your children, in having, like, you know, time with friends, that you want to be more flexible to serve your highest good. I think that's everyone in this room. That's eventually what they want. People that come to the gym a lot, especially those like who are focused on function and being a well-rounded athlete and just good at life in general, you know, they want growth. I feel like growth is the common value, right? Yeah, building.
The
Yeah.
strength is handling pain. This is what we do. It's not transforming into body. I didn't talk about any body composition or how it looks. It's not about looks. It's about strength. You could be looking the worst, but you're strong. But it's the ability to handle pain. And now, no man is able to handle pain. Boys are going to the gym. Tell them to lift a weight. They start whining and crying. No, this is too heavy. Tell a woman to do it, and she's more than happy to do it. And not all women, I'm saying, and not all men. But this is the true fact. And this is where men are lacking. Like, go experience pain. They're afraid. They're taking care of their looks more than the dirt, which is coming from the pain. No one is able to handle pain. Once you are able to handle pain, fail. That's why I say gym is a laboratory, because I fail in the squat rack or in a lift. I'm not able to do it. I'm going to go back, come back the next time. I'm going to be stronger. Life gives you and throws you pain all the time. You're not going to ask for pain to go away. You're going to ask for being stronger in order to handle that pain. That's it.
I think
this is strength for a man. And this is what today's men are lacking.
I love what Nader just said. So it's what really, like, you put it so beautifully for me, because it's not, I love sport. Again, that's why I said emphasize expression of my physical body. That's what the gym is for me. But it's not my everything. It's a tool. And it allows me to really be a better mom, sister, daughter, member of the community, more useful to others, and I just feel better. But if it's going, it helps my growth. If it's going to hinder my growth, that all I'm doing is focusing on how my body looks or how my muscles look, like, that's great, like, to each their own. I'm not saying that's a big element of fitness for some people, but for me, it's what strength is. I have to define that and redefine it, because sometimes strength is being quiet, is not saying what you wanted to actually say. It's like being wise, you know, like is being an understanding mother. It's being a good friend. It's being there for other people. So strength is defined. It depends on the situation. It's not a general thing. But what physical strength, I feel, allows us to do is it helps us embody strength, feel it actually in our muscles. Like, you want to feel it, what it's like to be strong, and then take that and carry over in other areas of life is phenomenal. And you know, something also Donna said, which is just, I feel like women are not, like, people are so surprised when they're strong or fit or whatever, because there are like there's just no high expectations of them in sport for some reason. In general, I'm talking about now like the big sports scene, professional sports, and that's unfortunate because women have just as much, maybe not as the same as men, because again, you have that advantage in some sports. Women have advantage in other sports, by the way. So it's an important thing to like understand these things and like kind of zoom out on what is it that we're experiencing. And that's why back to the incident at the gym is that I kept pushing safe, like, how did that make you feel? Because it's not about the weight. There's something deeper than this. Because I thought nothing about it, but because I also grew up with a lot of boys, and it wasn't, like, I'm not intimidated by men, let's just say that. And it's not because, it's not a disrespectful statement or anything, it's my background allowed me to be around a lot of boys and run with them, and I don't know, in the 90s it was different. There wasn't, these conversations were not really having, you're just a kid and you play.
Women were not in the gym.
Same for me, I grew up with men.
Same, yeah, so. But only women get that. Like, I don't think, that happened to me at another gym. I was doing, I think I told you maybe, I was doing ring push-ups, which are already very hard for most people, and dips, and it was a superset. It's just a horrible idea, and I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to do these two back to back. And a guy walked up to me and he's like, that sucks, by the way. And I'm like, yeah, it does. And he's like, and then you did like the harder thing after the easier thing, but the easier thing was already very hard. But then we ended up having like a great conversation about training and his favorite supersets and my favorite supersets. And then we both agreed that squats and pull-ups are the way to go. But as a result, we had a really, really good conversation. And I love these conversations. And it's all facilitated by being physically fit, strong, and treating it like it is, like it's play, it's a sport, we're always like, talking about, did you do this weight? Did you do this weight? Did you run this, how much did you run? How long was the workout? It's part of
Thank you very much, everyone.
Fun,
We exceeded a little bit of the time, but I really appreciate that. Thank you, Yasmine. Thanks a lot. Thank you.